What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great day. It is hot as hell out there, let me tell you. I'm sure you know, but my Lord, good to be inside it, cooling down a little bit, but hope you're all having yourselves a great day. This is not a live video, but would love to hear from you. Appreciate you guys all hitting that like button, sharing this stuff, subscribing, everything you do to support the channel. I cannot thank you enough. Again, hope you're having yourselves a good one. Staying cool out there, but we're here to continue the training camp preview, get through this positional breakdown of each position of the Philadelphia Eagles. We went through the offense, special teams. Now we're going to go through the defense, and starting us off today is the interior defensive lineman. So we'll talk about who was added, lost, all the players we have there right now, and then the projected depth chart. We'll talk about all of it. Love to hear your thoughts on this position. And we're going to jump right into it. So, again, hope you guys had a good one. Hope you're ready to talk some birds. So, here we go. Now, we didn't really, do much at this position. And that has people freaking out. Oh, got to add Calais Campbell. You got to do this, got to do that. I'll be real with you. I'm pretty damn excited about the interior defensive lineman of the Eagles. Now, I understand Fletcher Cox, he did retire. So, people losing their minds there. But beyond that, that's all you lost. And, we added a couple players, one in free agency, PJ Mustapher, and then Gabe Hall, an undrafted free agent here. So we talked about Gabe Hall, one of my fits for the Eagles before the draft. We talked about, his ability here, one of those 4-eye technique guys, kind of like the Jalen Carter, Milton Williams type of guy. And I think that this kid, he could be a steal in this draft. So a good addition there. We'll talk about him in a second. But you do lose Fletch, and he played the most amount of snaps, almost 49%. And look, he got 5 sacks last year, 1 forced fumble, 17 quarterback hits, and, started 15 of the 15 games he played. So, yes, we love Fletch. He will always be a legend in these parts. But unfortunately, he's on to different things. And I hope he enjoys his retirement. And he's such a lively character that I hope that he does some things that we still get to see him. Love that dude. Best of luck to him. But, people losing their minds here. Oh, my God, what are we going to do without Fletcher Cox? And you guys know, not this draft, but the last couple. We talked about Jordan Davis, and we talked also about Jalen Carter and how much they mean to this defense, what we were trying to do. And now what we have right here, right now, with Vic Fangio, this multiple scheme defense, it's perfect, what you've got going on here. And let's take a look at what the Eagles have going on here. And yeah, you're losing Fletch, but time for Milton Williams to step it up as that third guy. Carter will take the reins as number 1. Davis, we talk about him, a nose tackle to a blow to. So, I mean, you've got some guys here. Now, Jalen Carter, now this season fell apart, but I thought he was on his track to get that defensive rookie of the year. This is such an athletic freak. And last year, he was actually second in snaps. He had 48%, but he had 6 sacks and 47 pressures. This dude is a freak of nature. Playing that 4-eye, predominantly can play that 3 technique. And, he's going to be used all over the place in that multiple scheme, the multiple fronts, the 3, the 4, the 5-man fronts. And you see Jordan Davis, obviously, that's more of your nose tackle. And this dude, he ran that 4.78. And I think that, that's pretty insane for his size. I mean, 6'6", 330 plus pounds. And, you hear some people talking about, oh, well, he's too overweight. He doesn't have stats. Well, I wish these people would understand what a nose tackle is. That one technique, zero shade. The guy is supposed to take up multiple players. He's supposed to, be that 2-gap run stop. But in the past game, he allows other people, opens things up. So it's not really about, stats. And we talked about his run game last year. And, people were talking all this crap. And I just brought it to the light. Hey, this guy has one of the highest double team percentages in the league, but still was top 10 in run stop win percentage. And that just goes to show this will be his 3rd year. This dude, they're sleeping on the wrong one. So those Georgia boys there and Davis and Carter, I think they're going to feast and cannot wait to see the progression. But this is why I'm not concerned. Those are your top 2 guys. And then Milton Williams is your 3rd guy. We talk about him, playing that 4-eye, can play the 3 tech, but, he's a former edge. He's one of those guys that, not 320 pounds here, but an athletic freak. He ran a 4.63 40. That's pretty insane. And That's the fastest by a defensive player, and a 3-cone drill, 6.96. Yeah, pretty insane. That's the fastest, for a 280 plus pounder in the last 2 decades here. So we talked about all 3 of these guys before their respected drafts, and I loved each one of them. Very excited about the future of those top 3 guys. Then you talk about Tuipulotu. He was the 5th guy last year. Stayed healthy, played in 14 games, predominantly stayed healthy. Had 2 sacks there. But they like this kid. And with Fletch gone, he has an opportunity to step it up. But you've also got guys like Ojomo here, who we took in the 7th round last year. Another one of those tweener prospects, former, edge kind of guy. But you can play him, in that 4 technique 3, not so much. But I like Ojomo. I like his versatility. It fits perfectly for what you're trying to do here. And I'm excited about Moro Ojomo, so can't wait to see what he does. And Gabe Hall, we talked about him. Same deal. This is the kind of guy that I think could definitely steal a spot on this roster. He and Njomo cannot wait to see that competition there, but big fan of both. So excited there. And then in free agency, we talked about adding PJ Mustipher, and that is a true nose tackle. So you actually have some depth here behind Davis. You don't really have to. I mean, you can use in certain packages Tuipulotu at nose tackle or Thomas Booker or certain things like that, but you don't need to. You've got one here, and we'll see if he makes the roster. But Mustipher last year was a 5th rounder. And undrafted by the Broncos. That's Booker I'm thinking of. My apologies. But Mustipher, he was on the Broncos. Then he was on the Saints, actually on the active roster of the Saints, played in a game or 2 there. And, now a Philadelphia Eagle getting a chance to back up Davis. We need some true depth behind him. So we'll see. But Thomas Booker there, we talked about 5th round by the Texans 2 years ago in 2022. So I think that, you've got some guys with some high-end talent here. This is a guy that, he can really move around the line there. And I like Thomas Booker as a practice squad guy, but you've got some competition here. So these 8 guys, I feel comfortable. And hey, look, hey, you want to add Calais Campbell. I'm not saying I'm against it. A veteran presence, that's fine. But this is going to be the 4th year for Milton, 4th year for Tuipulotu. So, I mean, you've got some experience here. And, adding someone like Clint Hurt, to this unit here. He is the new defensive line coach taking over there for Tracy Rocker, but he was the assistant head coach and D-line coach for the Seahawks from 17 to 21. And then he was the defensive coordinator the last couple of years before coming over here to be Vic Fangio's defensive line coach. And you guys know how I feel about Vic Fangio, and I will post down below. I'll pin it in the comments. The video breakdown I have of the structures and schemes that this defense is going to be using. And I do it each year. But we finally got the Godfather, Vic Fangio himself, and I'm very excited about these fronts, and I feel very comfortable about what we have here. And I have my projected depth chart like we do for every position here, and I'm going to cut out all the other positions. You can check out the other videos to see all that stuff, but we're just going to focus here on those interior defensive linemen here. So, you can list them as a D tackle, nose tackle, D lineman, D end, all kinds of different things. So that's why I listed it that way, just so you understand. It's a multiple scheme D. You will see people call these certain things, but this is your interior D lineman. Tomorrow we'll get into the edges, then the off-ball linebackers, the corners, the safeties. So we'll get through this. Then my top training camp battles. 1 week from today, baby, we will be talking about training camp. It will begin. Cannot wait. But you see here, the key green, anyone added in free agency or trade, that is PJ Mustipher. Undrafted free agents in gray, that is Gabe Hall. No one drafted there. So these guys were already under contract that are in white. But as I mentioned, Mustipher can now be that nose tackle depth rather than, and again, Tuipulotu can dabble a little bit, but you got a true nose tackle here. Now Tuipulotu, Booker, or Jomo, Gabe Hall, whoever you want to put there, they can back up Carter, Milton Williams, and that 4-eye technique predominantly. So very, very excited about those top 3. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams. I think they're going to feast. People are sleeping on the wrong ones. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Who do you like? Do you think Milton Williams is going to break out? Are you with me on that? Do you think they're sleeping on Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter? Are the 8 teams that didn't draft him high as hell? Because, oh boy, you really let us get him. And he's going to be generational. And Jordan Davis, dude, I really can't get over the fact that people are still talking crap about his size as a nose tackle. Just learn what a nose tackle is, and then we can go from there. But, oh, Lord, help us all. But I hope you enjoyed, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I've got for you this evening, though. If you got something from this, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Appreciate you sharing this, subscribing to the channel. All of you sickos, man, I hope you're all enjoying your week. Always remember, Dallas sucks. But yeah, that's all I've got for you. So have yourselves a great evening. Until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You need anything, please feel free to reach out, whether it's the birds, life, you got anything going on, always here for you as you are for me. But you all stay safe out there, and as always, say it with me now, go birds!